What's up, guys? I'm AJ Gales, and this is the Untitled Game Jump. Thank you so much for watching. You know, I kind of wish I had like an applause button or something for this, for when I do this show. You know, it's like I press it, and I can like run in like, jeez, come on. I thought this analogy earlier, like running down the aisle for The Price is Right. And if you're too young to understand that reference or The Price is Right, well, I missed the mark on that one, and I just feel really fucking old now. What's up? God damn it. What's up, guys? As you probably have figured out if you watch this show normally, this is not on the usual time that I do this show. I've been shooting for Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, for the past while. And recently I've been having some trouble hitting that. Thursday night, I got in late. I was on a vacation with my family. I was over in Ohio. I went to knock something off a shelf. I was in Kings Island, doing some stuff with my family. Got back late Thursday night. Sorry about that. Meant to record this video. Meant to record it Friday morning. Didn't. I started my Technomancer series and 7 Days to Die series. Go check that out. Both Let's Plays. And I started both of those. And then I kind of went back to sleep. I had to drive my mom last night somewhere. You know, she's out of town for the next 2 weeks. So, you know, I was busy yesterday. And I've been thinking about this, and, you know, I've been really having trouble hitting that Friday date recently, and even before then, I was still kind of hit and miss. So I've been thinking, how can I rectify this, because I really hate apologizing to you guys week after week that the show's going up late, that it's doing this, that, or the other thing. And what I'm finding is, kind of looking back on it, I'm having a lot more of an easier time doing this on Saturdays than I have been on Fridays. So I am going to actually change the time of this show. So as opposed to being every week at Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, it will still be at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, but on Saturdays. So that's something I'm going to probably try for the rest of this month. If it's easier, I will stick to that and probably continue that moving into my next school semester. Give me a second. My glasses are... Sorry, it's... Okay, I'm sorry. They looked weird in my recording. But I will be doing Saturday, and if, like I said, it works out for this next month, I will be kind of bringing that into that'll be the norm. It'll be on Saturdays. Should also help me once my new school year starts. So that's just kind of a look into the future. Something else. Like I said, check out my the Technomancer and 7 Days to Die Let's Play series I just started yesterday. I also, be sure, if you use Steam, to check that out. They are currently running the summer sale. I believe it ends July 4th, so that's a couple days. I've already picked up Mars Warlogs, that is the prequel to the Technomancer, and Civilization 5 with all the included DLC. I got both of those for about $20. Actually a little under $20. So again, great deals out there. I'll probably be playing both of those for the channel. But like I said, check out the Steam Summer Sale. I have Song of the Deep starting in 10 days. Then we have stuff in August. September, October is really big. We have a lot of Let's Plays coming up. Like I said, this show will be moved to Saturdays. I think that's all of the kind of housekeeping. If you're new to this show, basically what I do is I find news from all over the web, type it up, and talk about it. Some stories take longer than others because I have actual, like, thought out opinions on them. Other ones, they're just kind of like, they're happening. I'm sorry, my dog's, like, opening doors or something. Well, I'm sorry, my dog... I hate my dog. It makes me lose my train of thought sometimes. If I figure out what the hell I was getting at, I'll bring it up later. So here we go. After August 1st, Ustream functionality on your PS4 and PS Vita will no longer be available. Currently, let me see here. This is not just the streaming function, but the broadcasting function as well. You can still stream content via YouTube, Twitch, and Dailymotion through your PlayStation apps, but the specific Ustream will not be available. Sony giving the statement, and I quote, "We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause, and we appreciate your understanding," end quote, and also saying, that the August 1st date, and I quote, may shift. Those quotes were used in a GameSpot article. Currently, I've never fully understood Ustream, or exactly why you use them, because again, there's Twitch and there's a lot of other stuff, but I guess Ustream is kind of easier, so you don't need all the software that you use. But and also, I don't have exactly why Ustream is ending, or why that functionality is being pulled. Maybe they're coming up with something better, but I don't know. You can find out probably more details in the articles. One by Michael McWhirter of Polygon, and the other by Eddie McCooch of GameSpot. You can check those out. All right, you all, anybody who's watched me for a while should know that I like to have some fun on this channel. You know, I like to joke around. I like to exaggerate things and whatnot. And that being said, I want you to know that this upcoming story is absolutely true. Next year in China, a new video game movie will begin production. Or actually shooting, I'm sorry. This movie has a budget of $80 million. And the movie is the Tetris Movie. That is correct. If I'll say it once more. The Tetris Movie. You know, the little thing about the blocks that fall out of the air and land. How the hell somebody's going to make a movie out of that? I have no freaking clue. But the American producer, Larry Kazanov, who is working on this project, he also, in his credits, to his credit, was also with Mortal Kombat back in 1995. Big fan of that movie myself. He plans to make this, and I quote, epic sci-fi thriller. End quote. Article by Allegra Frank of Polygon. I don't know what to say about mankind or society anymore, other than we let this happen. We let the Tetris Movie happen. We need to look at what movies are being made nowadays, because that's depressing, if you ask me. But another, well, I guess in this case you asked me, depressing movie being made, the Minecraft movie, set for May 24th. This is the actual release date for this movie. May 24th, 2019. I can't believe they set a date for something 2.5 years in the future. But, okay, good for them. Again, if you've watched my channel long enough, you know my opinions on Minecraft. Not a big fan of it. I don't know. I just can't get into it. That article by Evan Campbell of IGN. There's no current date for that. Although I will say I think this looks better than the Tetris Movie for the fact of the Telltale Minecraft series that I've heard is very good. So again, maybe my skepticism is just of the Minecraft part, not the fact that it's a movie. Let's see here. Currently, the Unknown Project by the Sonic team. Currently, I have no idea what it is. Really, it hasn't been announced officially what it is. All we know is that it will be releasing next year in 2017. An article by Alex Osborne of IGN. WWE 2K17 has announced its release date for its upcoming game this year. Will be coming to us October 11th of 2016. It has also announced the cover star. Probably, I'm surprised they can actually fit him on the cover of a box. Brock Lesnar. If you aren't familiar with Brock Lesnar, he was a former WWE. I believe he was with them when it was the WWF. Might have been early WWE. But either way, former WWE star. Then turned UFC champion, heavyweight champion. And then came back to the WWE. He had also, I believe, played football for the Minnesota Vikings. I believe he was either a second string player or he was with a farm club for the Vikings. Something like that. Was also a collegiate wrestler, very accomplished collegiate wrestler. Basically, if you don't know what he looks like, I'd suggest Google it, because he will frighten you, because most pictures of him look like has a vindictive smile or he's screaming at something. I guess this is the best way I can picture sharks with more muscles and as Adam from What Culture put it, the concept of screaming, or no, the mere concept of punching. That's what it was. I can't remember. He was saying something about basically what Brock Lesnar is, and he said something mixed with the idea of punching. So that's exactly, I guess I can say, picture a muscular shark with fists that can punch things. That's Brock Lesnar. That's not a dig on him. The man is scary big. I believe his record in the UFC was a 3-2 record. I believe losing his opening fight, going to win 3, winning the championship, and then losing. I believe his opening fight was against Frank Mir. Also, his WWE accolades go with ending the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania recently. And yes, I know I'm showing myself to be a giant nerd of not only the WWE, but combat sports as a whole. I'm a fan of mixed martial arts and boxing and whatnot. Either way, moving on, article by Matt Porter of IGN. I'm sorry, I stayed on that way longer than I probably should have. The Banner Saga 2 will be releasing on console a little later than what was... well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Not later, actually earlier than what was originally set. Originally set for July 26th. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Originally released on April 19th for PC. I think that's the date I was thinking of. But it was originally supposed to release July 26th for console. Well, it actually released July 1st, yesterday, on Xbox One, and will be releasing July 5th on PS4. This Banner Saga 2 will also be part of July's free Xbox Games with Gold, and PS4 will have access to an exclusive in-game item. And the original Banner Saga for PS Vita is still ongoing, primarily at Sony, so keep your eyes out for that. I'm assuming it'll be a digital release game. Jonathan Dornbush of IGN. Dow. What the hell? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out what this next article was. July 12th is going to be the release date for the PS4 DLC for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. The upcoming DLC, I'll say this in a little more obvious way because I don't know what the hell I was thinking when I wrote this down. The upcoming DLC for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 will be releasing July 12th for PS4, and the dates for Xbox One and PC will follow. I'm assuming it'll be a month later because that's kind of how it's been done with timed exclusives with PS4. So I'm assuming about August 12th is when you can expect them on Xbox One and PC. This DLC will feature 4 new multiplayer maps: Cryogen, Berserk, Rumble, and Empire, and will feature a continuation of the Origin storyline in, and I quote, an alternate USSR universe. This is for zombie mode. And there will be dragons. According to, all of this is according to the article by Nicole Carpenter of IGN. This will be available as part of the Season Pass or individually for $15. And yes, you did hear me correctly. I said this DLC pack will include dragons. I think Call of Duty's just gotten too weird. I think it's gotten to that time where we need to step away. Because dragons... We need dragons. Speaking of dragons, that's a terrible segue. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC through Steam will be available on October 28th. I'm sorry, I'm terrible. I really did. I loved Dragon Ball as a kid. I didn't play the first Xenoverse. Probably won't play the sequel. I don't fully know anymore. Cripes. Like I said, I'm sorry. I misspoke. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 will be available for PS4, Xbox One on October 25th, and PC through Steam October 28th. So that's when that'll be available. The game will also feature Grammy-nominated DJ Steve Aoki. He will be remixing basically a few popular Dragon Ball Z songs for the game. Article by Alex Osborne of IGN. I really hope I pronounced Aoki's name correctly. I don't know. I'm not a big DJ fan. I've heard of... he has to be big for the fact that I've heard of him, and if I've heard of somebody in modern day popular culture, that means they're pretty big, because I've not heard of a lot of people. Because I true story, and I'm sorry, I'm breaking away. This is a little anecdotal joke here, but I was in one of my media classes, and somebody said something about Kylie Jenner, and the only thing I could sit there and go was, who? Well, everybody's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, who? And they're also then talking about Kim Kardashian and all that. I know who Kim Kardashian is, but at the same time, I also sit there and go, who? Because they talk about how, her looks and whatnot, and I'm like, honestly, I cannot remember. You could show me a picture of her, and I know who it is, but off the top of my head, I can't just, think of what she looks like. I'm terrible with modern day popular culture that isn't video games. Just saying. Continuing on this release date trend, I talked about this I think 2 weeks ago during my E3 coverage, but background music on Xbox One will be available on August 2nd. Basically, what I'm assuming this is you can play music while you're in other apps. Alongside with this, the language region independence will launch. I believe I think that's for Windows 10 along with Xbox One. And basically what this independence means, article by Matt Porter of IGN, by the way. Basically what this independence means is that no matter where you are, you can basically set the language that you want your computer or Xbox to use. I thought that already existed, but apparently not. And now, if I'm assuming a lot of people already know this because this is actually pretty big news. This is something that's been teased for a while, but on September 13th in North America, the 15th in Australia, and September 16th internationally, BioShock The Collection will be available for PS4, Xbox One, and PC for $59.99. And that price is in U.S. currency, just like when I said the $15 for the COD DLC. That's all in American currency. This collection will include BioShock, BioShock 2, and BioShock Infinite, my personal favorite, alongside BioShock 2's The Protector Trials and Minerva's Den DLC. Multiplayer will not be included. Multiplayer won't be in this. And both parts of the Burial at Sea DLC for BioShock Infinite, article by Andrew Goldfarb of IGN. I know I'm gonna get I get a lot of hate because I love the weird games and franchises. Like with the Uncharted franchise, my favorite is 3. Well, actually now 4, but with BioShock, my favorite was Infinite. I don't know. There's just something about BioShock 1 and 2 that I just really couldn't get into. I like watching people play the games. I could never play them. Maybe it's because I'm a giant chicken, and it would scare. I don't know. I think I watched some horror movie. I think I watched the horror movie Stay Alive right before I played BioShock, and then I played BioShock in a dark room. It was a bad choice. But no, I know a lot of people are excited. Actually, I'm excited about this because this will actually give me a chance to kind of go back now that I'm a little older to play BioShocks 1 and 2 without breaking out my Xbox. I don't know. It's just easier to record off my consoles. But yeah, I think this is a great thing. I think this is long overdue. I think this is a franchise that everybody loves. Personally, I really liked Infinite. I know it was a very different game from BioShocks 1 and 2. But I think it still had a much nicer story because I really liked Booker. I really liked Elizabeth, Comstock. I liked the whole idea of the story. And then the Burial at Sea DLC really kind of continued with the infinite worlds and possibilities idea. I'm not really going to kind of get into that because I don't want to necessarily spoil anything if you haven't seen BioShock Infinite, if you weren't very interested in it. But with this collection is your best chance to go play. Infinite was fantastic. I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. I'm just in the vast minority. Well, along with all those release dates, we also had a couple delays. The Batman Return to Arkham pack, which would contain Batman Arkham. Batman Arkham Asylum, there we go, and Batman Arkham City. I'm still a little disappointed that Arkham Origins would not be included in that, because, again, I actually liked, and not saying it was the best one, I actually liked Origins, though. I thought it was still pretty good. Still thought it was worth to be in the group, and maybe seeing that this delay will maybe allow that one to be part of it. But if you're wondering when the new release date is, because it was supposed to originally be July 29th, we don't have that currently. All we know is that this project, the Return to Arkham pack, is delayed indefinitely. No, that does not mean it is gone forever. It's just, I'm assuming, and what I'm really thinking is the issue here, is they just need more time on it, and we will see, you know what I mean. They're just not going to tell us it's at this date and then delay it again. I think they're at the moment saying we need more work on it. It will tell you when it's coming out. So I think that's what's going on. Article by Vicky Blake of IGN. The other big delay is that Bethesda has officially delayed Fallout 4 mod support on PS4. If anybody has been following this, I know I talked about this, I think 2 weeks, it was either 2 weeks ago or last week, where Bethesda was actually having problems with its mod beta for PS4. And now I guess officially they need a lot more work on that, seeing that the entire project has been delayed. And once again, this is mods for Fallout 4 on PS4. I believe they are already available on Xbox One. Article by Nicole Carpenter of IGN. All right, now this next one, this next one's a little interesting, because this is a weird case of plagiarism. I remember I talked a while ago, pre-Uncharted 4, Naughty Dog was kind of under fire by Ubisoft for using artwork in a promotional bit during one of the Uncharted 4 trailers. If you noticed, in Nate's house, there was a painting of this kind of beach scene that looked like concept art for Assassin's Creed 4. I still sit there, and even playing the game, I'm still looking at it going, isn't that still the concept? Either way, there was some questions there. But this next little bit, I would suggest you just go and Google, once I'm done with this article, Google Firewatch Ford art, something like that. Yes, I mean Ford as in the car company, because this is the weirdest form of plagiarism I think I've ever seen. That is that Ford is currently under suspicion, or I'm sorry, not Ford, the major company, but a Ford dealership is under suspicion of stealing artwork from Campo Santo's Firewatch. I don't know how exactly, because I'm not going to show you guys the picture because I don't have that ability. With my editing skills aren't high enough to do that, but definitely go Google it, because it is, I mean, because it's obvious if you've seen the artwork for Firewatch. I mean, not just, it's not like just like the spirit, I mean, literally, it looks like they pulled, like, they literally, like, copied and pasted shit. Like, it is blatantly obvious. But the dealership in question is Quirk Ford, I believe somewhere in Massachusetts. Let me see here. They have issued an apology via Twitter, and I quote, "At Ford was not involved in creating Quark Ford advertising. We regret the error and would like to issue an apology to at Campo Santo," end quote. Campo Santo then responds, and I quote, "Thank you, no hard feelings, smiley face," end quote. I think before that apology and that acceptance by Campo Santo, Sean Vanneman of Campo Santo tweeted out, and I'm not sure exactly where in the timeline this is, but I think he put it the best of why I think this is a big issue, and why I don't understand why Campo Santo is just kind of letting this go. And he took to Twitter tweeting this, and I quote, "That update is BS, and their mailer actually includes elements from our old website that aren't available on any wallpaper site," end quote. Articles, I got this from two separate articles, one by Brian Francis of Gamma Sutra, I can't talk, and one by Jeff Ramos of Polygon. And again, I honestly have to agree with Sean Vanneman that looking at it, it's clearly, because I remember looking at Campo Santos' website before Firewatch launched, and wow, it is obvious that it looks literally like the background of that is almost exactly like what their website was. I mean, this is obviously stolen And I don't understand why Campo is kind of letting it go. Maybe it's because Campo is a smaller developer and Ford is a massive company. But it's amazing. I guess continuing on this trend of somewhat amazing things that are going on. This original story happened on June 27th. I didn't get word of it and didn't report on this, I guess, last week. But, oh wait, no. On June 27th would have been earlier this week. Either way. On June 27th, a man by the name of Jihad al-Mofada, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Mofadda, had his PSN account banned. Not only that, he was also could not access his, and I quote, digital assets. This is from his tweets. He also brings up a very good point of he's not the only one with that name. Another 9,800 others have the name that he has on PSN. That name is Jihad. Or Jihad. I'm not 100% sure on the pronunciation. It is spelled Jihad. I believe that is pronounced Jihad. Literally his name. This is not a joke. This is literally this guy's name. And Sony, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I get where Sony's going with it, but when there's 9,800 other people, all of them should be banned. Either all or none. Because this looks really bad. Especially because, and I don't like to bring race into things a lot, but you're banning... I'm sorry, I don't know the exact nationality. I'm going to guess Middle Eastern. I'm hoping I'm not going to offend anybody by saying Middle Eastern. I apologize to Mr. Mofada that if I somehow this gets back to him. And Middle Eastern is offensive. If anybody knows his exact nationality, I will be happy to correct myself. But Mr. Mofada... I think this is horrible that he was banned. But oddly enough, that's not what I'm... The thing... Originally, I was going to talk about this and kind of have this a weird moral thing. Now I'm going to actually pose a weird question to Sony. Because no matter all this, Sony is currently offering him the chance to change his PSN account name. This is a little weird, because I know this is something that a lot of PSN account holders are yelling at Sony, let us change our... I believe there's a whole hashtag about let us change our names. And I think this shows they have the ability to do it. It's not without its drawbacks, though, because changing his PSN name will do a few things. It will delete his trophy progress and his social connections. So that means his friends, his interactions, all that. All that will be wiped. It will, though, allow him to keep his purchased content. So there are some problems with it, but really, you're making him change. And I'm just saying, when I'm saying offer, they're offering him to change his name or stay banned, as far as I understand it. What the shit? Like, first off, you have the ability to let us change our names. Why can we not do it? Why have you not really been working on that? The second issue here is this is really messed up to ban this guy. I mean, because I understand. I'm going to assume the ban came off of a computer catch of the word, even though again that doesn't necessarily make sense when there's 9,800 other people with this name. But so I get it. I know it's not they're trying to discriminate against anybody. Especially this is a massive international company. But really, Sony, you can't just go, it's his name. There's a shit ton of other people with this name. Let's move on. No, we actually have to make him change his name. And honestly, I think it would probably just be best to say, keep the name, make the other 9,800 people change. I think that would be a better PR move than just making this one guy change his name. Like I said, my apologies to Mr. Mofada that this is actually happening to him. I know it has to suck. And I know me saying that is probably an understatement. But holy crap, I can't believe that actually happens. I'm excited because I know there was that huge thing with, was it I think it was Al Qaeda. I think back with a lot of people said a long time ago that they actually built an internet server using PS2s. That was kind of funny. Well, I believe I believe that was around the time that NASA bought a bunch of PS3s and made a supercomputer out of them, and then they made a internet server off of a bunch of PS2s. That's kind of funny. And then there was that thing. I'm trying to think. I think it was sometime last year, 2013. No, 2015, 2014, sometime in there, that it was actually considered that some terrorist groups, ISIS included, was actually communicating with each other via PlayStation chat, even though that had been severely debunked. So I kind of understand why Sony is... I'm sorry if I seem like I'm rambling and going in the circle. I kind of get why Sony is kind of watching this, but at the same time, come on. It's this dude's name. I don't know. Yeah, moving on. Article by Mac Footer of Game Informer. Competitive play is now available for Overwatch on Xbox One and PC. I believe it is still up in the air on PS4. Article by Jonathan Dornbush of IGN. Continuing on that, though, apparently, and I've done this a few times playing Call of Duty. Leaving a match, leaving mid-match when you're losing big and you just don't want to finish up. I've done it a lot. Not gonna lie, I know, let more of the hate flow. But apparently, if you do this in competitive play for Overwatch, you'll be hit with some significant penalties. One being a 75% penalty to XP that you gain. And this next is a quote from Blizzard. And I quote, "Additionally, you can be suspended from competitive play for increasing periods of time up to receiving a ban for the entire season," end quote. Article by Allegra Frank of Polygon. So this is a good time to break that habit if you have that habit. This next article by Timur Hussein of GameSpot. It was entitled the current top 10 chart in the UK. I like to talk about the top 10s every so often because I think it kind of gives like a nice little look into the buying patterns of people. And this is both, I believe, retail and digital. Except the list that was shown in the article was only the top 9. So here's the top 9 currently in the UK. And this is going bottom to top. Starting off, Ratchet and Clank. Really proud of those guys. I still love that game. It's still been one of my favorite games I've played this year. Quick thing to anybody who wants to go check out my Let's Play of that. Part 12 is not available to be viewed in all countries. I got a message yesterday that it had been blocked. Apparently, I believe it's because about a 1.5-minute cutscene was used in the actual movie. So that 30-minute video, you can't watch any of it because of that 1.5 minutes that for some reason it won't let me cut out. A little annoyed by that, if you can't tell I'm a little salty. But yeah, go check out my Let's Play of that. It's a really fun game. And actually go play it for yourself. It's, again, really fun. Number 8, Star Wars Battlefront. Number 7, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Number 6, and this is the first time it's actually been, I believe, in one of the top 10s, at least in the UK, Rocket League. Number 5, and it still amazes me that this game is in the top 10, Grand Theft Auto 5. Holy crap, that game is selling. Number 4, Overwatch. Not surprising, that game has been increasingly popular recently. Number 3, I'm really happy this game is up here, but I would have hoped that this game would have been number 1, but at the same time, for this being a Sony exclusive, I'm not surprised. Uncharted 4, ranking at number 3. Like I said, I mean, the next 2 are multi-console launches, so I guess I get why they're above them, but still, for an exclusive to sit number 3 in the chart, that's not bad. Number 2, FIFA 16, again, football, soccer, what have you, is extremely popular, especially the FIFA game's extremely popular in Europe. And leading the charts, this might be the most surprising one of the bunch, Doom. I mean, not surprising, I mean, if you played Doom, that game's fucking awesome. But, I don't know, I find it a little weird that actually led the charts. Once again, article by Timur Hussein of GameSpot. This current line of books being published by Titan Books will feature a series of Mass Effect novels that will bridge the gap between the original trilogy and Andromeda. Currently, the first book is due out this August, followed by the second book in March 2017, the third book in September 2017, and the final book appearing March 2018. This is a little weird because we know that the game is supposed to come out first quarter of next year, which is where... Sorry, I got an itch in my nose. Which is a little weird because you'd think you'd want to finish these books before the game comes out so we bridge the gap. Either way, I'm very excited for Andromeda, and this actually might give me a reason to open a book because I love the Mass Effect kind of lore, and I'm really interested to see how they bridge the gap. I mean, obviously, Andromeda technically would have had to start when Ryder, the main character, gets shipped from Earth or whatever, their main solar system, to the Andromeda Galaxy because of the events of 3. Technically, I'm not going to spoil it. There were some events in 3 that a lot of people didn't like. I'll end it there. Article by Nicole Carpenter of IGN. Give me a sec. Sorry. It really bugged me. Let's see here. Moving on. A lawsuit has been filed against Valve by a Counter-Strike Global Offensive player. This is apparently because skins for weapons are apparently being used as, and I believe this was in his complaint, virtual casino chips for online gambling. And this is... at first I'm like, oh, calm down, so what, they're betting skins. But no, like, the actual way this works is really interesting. Because what I thought this was is, okay, it's people gambling skins on, their matches or whatnot. Okay, yeah, technically illegal because it is gambling. But, I don't know, that's like having a small poker game with your friends. Who gives a shit? Well, no, this is actually a much bigger deal. This actually seems like this could get Valve in, I guess, some legal trouble. Because the way this works is, people will actually buy the skins and then use them to gamble on pro Counter-Strike Global Offensive matches. And then people can take these skins and liquidate them into actual currency. So basically, they are using these as poker chips. It's not like, here you have the skin and great, now I have the skin. No, you gamble the skin and then they take that skin and cash it in for an actual cash value. This is amazing. I honestly, like, this video's almost gone on for about 40 minutes, and I thought this would be a fairly long video, so I don't have the full details of the case in here. There's also a lot of legal stuff that I don't necessarily understand because I'm not a legal person. But you can go check this out. Article by Michael McWherter of Polygon. McWherter, McWherter. This is amazing. I can't believe this is actually happening. This is probably one of the most interesting video game lawsuits I've seen in a long while. Along with last week when I talked about No Man's Sky being sued by Sky TV. That was pretty funny. I usually like to end these videos with kind of not a puff piece, but just like a little opinion or a little something that I like to talk about. And in this time, the game that surprised me the most about E3 this year was Days Gone by Sony Bend. A lot of people want to disagree with me on that because I think IGN, one of their biggest surprise was like the Spider-Man game by Insomniac. I'm not saying that's not cool. I'm just like, Days Gone looked awesome, and I want a release date for this game. But basically, we got a look into some more details on the main character, Deacon St. John, for Days Gone. Basically, this was from a post on the PlayStation blog by Matthew Groizard. Groizard. He's a content producer at Sony Interactive Entertainment, and like I said, this was a post on the PlayStation blog. It kind of in this post, he was talking to creative director Ron Allen of Sony Bend, and this is kind of me paraphrasing this upcoming quote. Basically, to survive in the world of Days Gone, you have to be a really giant asshole. The actual quote read, and I quote, pretty much any of the survivors of the pandemic had to have a certain something about them. The appropriate skills to steal, kill, and survive in a harsh world. End quote. Once again, that is creative director Ron Allen. Again, I'm like, this is like, so you have to be a dick to survive in this world. Like, you have to be able to steal and kill and do what you have to survive. I can respect it, but you have to be an asshole. Obviously, if you've seen any of the promotional material, Deacon is obviously a biker. You can tell he's wearing the cut, the leather piece that the bikers wear. I'm sorry, the most I know about biker culture is from Sons of Anarchy. Yes, I watch a lot of TV. Leave me alone. But no, I mean, I think they're really kind of building this character up to be kind of. I know there's the world is full of these characters. This kind of. He's a damaged person, and yes, I know there's tons of them, especially in these kind of games. I mean, he sounds a lot like Joel from The Last of Us, where I think he has a caring side, but it's got this very thick kind of covering to him. But at the same time, I think Deacon is a very intelligent man. By this next quote, also by Ron Allen, and I quote, "He can find things out in the field and create better tools. For example, you'll see he's actually threaded the barrel of his pistol with the same thread pattern as an oil filter. So if he finds oil filters out in the world, he can screw them on and it'll allow him a couple of suppressed shots." End quote. This was shown in the gameplay trailer. Deacon kind of went into this truck, flipped the hole, pulled something out, and used it as a suppressor for his pistol. Like, that's really interesting. And now I actually have, like, a reason for this. We already know that this game is going to be an open world adventure game. I'm kind of hoping that we can upgrade these weapons. Like, it's like your pistol doesn't do that from the very start. It's like an upgrade that you can get. But again, I think this kind of opens up and shows what Deacon is going to be. I think he's going to be a much deeper character than just a biker who's surviving in the batshit crazy world. We also heard that his dirt bike that you saw in the trailer is actually a big part of the game because it's especially how he gets around. So I'm assuming there's hopefully going to be some customization with that thing as well. Currently, we do not have a release date for Sony Ben's Days Gone. All I know is I will be keeping my eye out for it, and you'll hear probably a lot more Days Gone news as we find out more here on this channel. But that is the last news story I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. Like I said, you can tune back in next week at Saturday, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Check out my Let's Plays, all that stuff. Sorry if it seems like I'm rushing. I just realized what time it was, and I have something I have to go do. So guys, I'm just going to kind of end real quick like I usually do. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, my website down in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You want to see more, you want to check out more of my Let's Plays, all that stuff. Guys, thank you for watching. I'm sorry I'm rushing here at the end. I love you all. I'm AJ Gales. This is the Untitled Gaming Channel. Tune in next time. I'm out.